everyone. We're thrilled to welcome you back to season 4 of How You Got Place, abbreviated as HYPE, for the third episode. I, Disha Singh, will be your host for this episode. Our guests for this evening have had remarkable career trajectories and many achievements to their name during the course of their college life. With this, let's hear more from Dinesh Verra sir and Nishidha Shri ma'am. Firstly, I'd like both of you to briefly introduce yourselves so that our viewers can learn more about the guests that we have with us today.
So, hi guys, I'm Nishidha. I'm a final year integrated postgraduate student in IT plus MBA in IIIT Gwalior.
So, hey guys, my name is Dinesh Verra. I'm from Hyderabad. I joined IIIT Gwalior in 2017. I'm from the IMT batch, currently in my final year.
Sir, as we all know, you are currently working as a co-op intern at Intuit, where you bagged a summer internship and later a full-time job offer. So please tell us about your experience.
Back in 2020, right after the pandemic hit, and most of the companies had hired freeze their hiring process. So, we were trying for off-campus opportunities. We were pinging people on LinkedIn for referrals, and also cold mailing recruiters, for an opportunity to get into their organization. So one day I received an email inviting me to an online test, which was the first round at for the Intuit's summer internship program. So it was a basic standard DSA round, which had 4 questions, and I was supposed to solve it in around 1 hour 30 minutes or so. So after doing that, a month passed by, and there was no reply from their end. And by this point, I was so fed up with all the recruiters ghosting me. So I finally decided I at least want a proper rejection mail, so that I kept on pinging that recruiter, at least give me a reply, please. So then he explained that since it was the end of the year, like December, so there was some delays in the responses. So and finally I got my result back. So I was shortlisted for the interview, and it was scheduled. I was given a week's time. So my first round was for 30 minutes. It was with an engineering manager with 20 years of experience here. So the first round went around pretty well. It was like a project discussion round for the first 15 minutes, and the next 15 minutes went on like he gave me a hypothetical scenario, and he asked me to uh, give a solution to that particular problem. So and he assessed me on the basis of my thought process and how I approach the solution to the problem. So after that, after a few days, I got my result and I got shortlisted for the next round. So which was another 1 hour round with two interviewers, two senior engineers from Intuit. So which was again, they asked me a simple question. First, they asked me to choose one of my projects from my resume, which I did. And there's a simple question like, how do you improve this? That was a simple question. But the discussion around that went on for 40 to 45 minutes. Like how I gave multiple viable options and which was the most optimal one, and that was how they assessed me. And after that, the remaining time went on for like one DSA question and one a puzzle which was given me to solve. So after 2 days, I got a call from the HR saying that I got selected, and I was really happy about that. So, and fast forward, I did my internship from May to June in the summer. And for the PPO at Intuit, there's a process in which, at the end of the internship, you're supposed to give a presentation to a panel of judges who are basically like principal architects, people at the top level. So, at Intuit, they consider three things before rolling out a PPO to a candidate. The first two are the mentors and managers' feedback of the candidate. The third one is the review given by the panel, the presentation panel. So after that, I got my offer. That My manager helped me a lot in giving me pointers on how to present and all. So and my co-op internship, which I'm doing right now, is basically a return offer in which I could learn more about the organization, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Nishida ma'am, you are currently interning at Mercari and have previously interned at Myntra and Rakuten. So please tell us about the interview process, requirements, and your general work experience in these companies.
Okay. So I had a different application process for all the three companies actually. So in Rakuten, it started off by talking to a friend, and I got a contact. I got an email ID of a manager, and then I mailed him, and then there was a reply, and after a lot of wait, I got my interview schedule because it was during December and there were New Year holidays going on then, and I had to wait a long time to get my interview schedule. And even then, I had two interviews. One is basically logical reasoning with puzzles and normal logical questions, and the second round was with my manager, who himself gave me a task on testing because the team works on a testing framework. So he wanted to test my skills on testing. So he asked me to write unit test cases for my past project. So based on that, he assessed my assessment and task, and then he gave me an opportunity to intern at Rakuten. So after around 3 to 4 months I've worked in Rakuten, suddenly I've seen an opportunity on Day to Compete about Myntra HackerRamp. So here, it was just a haste decision to just participate into it. I just came across the opportunity. I pinged my friend because it was a team opportunity. So then I pinged my friend and we thought, let's just give it a shot. And then we started on participated in hackathon, and the rewards were in such a way that whoever reached pre-final stage are eligible to get an interview. So we worked hard for that, and then finally we went till the pre-final phase, and then finally we got the interviews. So in that, during the interviews, we had two rounds of interviews. Both are based on DS and Algo. So they wanted to check my problem solving skills before they offer me an internship. So that was about it in Myntra, and the questions were also around medium based lead code questions, I think. And yeah, that was the process for Myntra. And forward, I interned there during July and August of 2021, and it was a great experience. It was a very good learning experience, through which I got the PPO from there. After the internship, I had one round of presentation where I have to explain my internship work, and also one DS Algo round. So after these two rounds, I got the PPO offer. So this is about Myntra, and for Mercari, I have seen some engineering manager posting a post on LinkedIn regarding the jobs on in Mercari. So I just took his referral and I applied through it, and then the process for Mercari began, and I got an online test, which was around 4 questions for 1 hour duration. They really wanted 100% accuracy in that. So I tried my level best, and thankfully the questions were, I was able to handle those questions, and I got the interview after a couple of weeks. So the interviews were also two rounds. First round is, because I applied for the front end position, I got interview pair programming in React.js. So there were two interviewers and they gave me 3 tasks in front end and using React.js, and I could clear it. Then the second round was with engineering manager. So he assessed my previous internship experiences and my past projects, and also my culture fit into the team. And it was a good talk. It was more like a talk than an interview. So I had fun throughout. So it was really great. And after a couple of weeks, I got the mail that I got into the internship.
Sir, you have many laurels to your name in the field of competitive programming, with honorable global ranks in many competitions and on CP platforms like CodeChef and HackerEarth. How would you describe your CP journey and managing consistency while working on other skills?
So to describe CP journey, when I first came into this college in 2017, so I had no coding background. I haven't had any courses in C or C++ in my 11th or 12th. So the first time I came across programming was right in my first semester. We had the subject, the C programming language, and to be honest, at that point of time, that was one of the most toughest subjects in that semester for me. I still remember like scoring single digit marks in both of my minors. So I almost feared like failing that subject. So, but I tried my level best and eventually got a decent grade in that subject. And after that, I progressively I started learning C++, and only in my second year I started competitive programming based on a chance encounter. Like I overheard a discussion in the cafeteria where my friends were discussing about participating in some long challenge held by CodeChef. So I thought to myself, why not? Like I joined the discussion and I thought to myself, like why not give it a try? So that's how it started, and like I started loving solving those problems and discussing the solutions with my friends after the each and every contest. So that went on for a year. So in my third year, after doing some competitive programming, I saw my batchmates and peers excelling at other different tasks like web development, Android development. So I had a FOMO, like everyone is doing development and I'm still stuck at competitive programming, even though I love it. But so there's that fear, right? So I stopped doing that for a while, and I started learning some development. I got into machine learning and deep learning. I did some projects in that area, but again I started missing competitive programming, so I went back to that. So the second question you asked, like managing consistently managing CP while learning other skills. So that is not what happened actually. I took some breaks in between CP to do some other stuff. So that was how I was able to acquire these skills. But I would advise not to do this. I would advise do both of them simultaneously if you are into both of them, both the fields. So that is a more optimal way to go ahead. Don't do like what I did. So that is what I would advise.
Nishidha ma'am, you had managed to reach the finals of the prestigious HackerRamp hackathon held by Myntra. What was your strategy like? How did you handle the challenges and the intense competition there?
Yeah. So basically, the HackerRamp had it is a team hackathon where we were three girls in a team. It was a diversity hackathon as well. So there was like maximum of three people in a team. So, but we were only two people, and it was a haste decision that is at the end of the. I mean, we registered exactly at the last 2-3 hours of the registration being closed. So we didn't had much time to ask the third person if they want to be in our team or not. So we thought we'll just try it with being two people. So that is the difficult part for us, because there were so many teams which had three people, and the work they put in was more than what we showed. So we had to do a little more, do effort a little more to reach to the pre-finals. And I remember one day we woke up till 3 a.m. in the midnight, and we were completing the project because we have to meet the deadline. So basically the process was like, first there was an idea phase, where we had to give a idea based on the themes they've provided us. And upon the shortlisting of our idea, they told us to make a prototype which we can demonstrate to the panel members. So we had no idea we were going to be selected to the second round, because we talked to a few friends, took inspiration, and then finally came up with an idea, and that got shortlisted. We were so happy, and then we had to implement it. We had to code, and we had our things going on as well in life. She had her interviews, and I had my interviews, and we have our subjects to study and everything. Even then, we took out the time for hackathon, and we finally completed it, and we got selected to the pre-finals, and we were so happy. We gave our best shot, but there were many more excellent teams which had better ideas with machine learning and etc. Our project was based on development. So that's it about my experience here.
Sir, you have been a student volunteer at Aurora, worked in the event management team of Infotserve, as well as you were the event organizer at Twaran. What were your key takeaways from working in these events, and how did they help you in the long run?
Okay, so let me tell you how I became a student volunteer at Aurora. So we're talking about Aurora 2018, which happened when we were in my second semester. So at one Sunday morning, I was sleeping and I heard a knock on my door. So I went and opened the door to see my one of my immediate seniors, Surya Pratap Singh sir, standing in front of me, and he just told me to get up, take a laptop, and just follow me to the academic block. So I did that, and there were some other first years with me. as well, and they assigned us some work to do. So basically, we had to mail some colleges inviting them to the fest. So so it was not by choice. It was by, it just happened like that. Not that I'm complaining about it, but that experience led me to understand how a fest, organizing a fest, what happens behind the scenes and all, which would later help me in fourth serve. When I became the one of the core team members, I was the EMT. So there I had to manage a team of people who were supposed to do the calling and mailing stuff. So I did the same thing what he did to me. I went to the hostels, brought in some juniors to do the work. I learned how to manage people, and I learned how to interact with people during the fest. I met some new people from my own batch, the whom I never knew before, and also met up with seniors. I had a lot of fun, organizing these fests and all. The same was the case with Urja and Twaran. So yeah, you guys really missing a lot in this, online semester. Like the culture of celebrating and organizing this fest, it is really important, and it's a fun you know time. You have to I hope that whenever the college reopens and when everything goes back to normal, you guys should continue the tradition of organizing this fest and celebrating them.
Nishidha ma'am, you have worked as a creative head at the Uthaan Club. You were also the management head in the student yarn movement of the institute, as well as the event management head at Aurora. How did participating in these extracurricular activities benefit you in your interview preparation?
So basically, when I joined college, I was a bit more shy, and I couldn't talk in front of many people. And these the my participation in these groups and clubs and also in fest made me talk, and that stage fright which we have initially just goes away while we talk to a huge crowd of people. So this was the biggest advantage I had when I joined after I joining these clubs. And actually, interesting fact is, in Uthaan I joined as a photographer in my first year, and from my second year then I became the creative head in the department, the shows department. And that was a great opportunity because I had to when I was a photographer, I went to various interviews with so many people, so many guests who visited our college, and I had to witness all those interviews, and it was really insightful on how many things many people have achieved. It was really it was a good learning experience for me, and good exposure. And in my coming to the fest part, where I had to being the member of the core team in Aurora, I had to talk to many juniors and tell them how to do work. When I say that I am when I instruct someone to do some work, I should be able to do that myself. So I should be disciplined first to make them more disciplined towards the work. So that also helped me in my time management, and it was a great experience, and I had a lot of fun, to be honest. Aurora it was a very good fest, and being a core team member, it was really fun.
Now I have some general questions for both of you. Could you both throw some light on how you handle stress and failures during your preparation for MNCs and how it changed your outlook on your efforts and approach?
My go-to stress buster was just switch off everything and just go watch something on Netflix. Mainly, most probably a Friends episode, maybe. But that helped, and talking to people, talking to friends, talking to family, that also helped a lot. And yes, it can be very stressful in the last 2 years, but once you overcome it, it's really great on the other end.
Yeah, it's exactly like Nishida said. The last final 2 years are full of stress and everything. But failure is inevitable. You can't expect apply everywhere and get selected everywhere, right? You are bound to fail at some point. So it's only natural. But it's important to learn from those failures. Instead of getting demotivated, you actually learn from those failures and try to do better the next time. So, and don't take it too seriously. And I know it's really stressful because you hear your friends and peers getting selected before you, whereas you are only facing rejections. So that's only natural, and you will eventually get where you actually will. I mean, you will eventually get a job offer. That's for sure. So, and to handle the stress, you can do something, which you love. Like for me, it was like playing chess and listening to music and all, and watching some TV series, etc. So, and for me, my strength was like my family and friends. They always cheered me up by talking to me whenever I faced any rejections or so. So that really helped me a lot.
How would you capture your 5-year journey, starting as a fresher and ending up successfully placed at your respective companies with growth in your skills and career trajectory?
So the past 5 years, mainly the first last, I mean, excluding the last 2 years, the first 3 years of my college life were really like memorable. So my only regret is that like I had to spend the last 2 years at home because of COVID. So the first 3 years were really enjoyable, memorable. I had so many memories. Like I had so much fun. The fest and the mass bunks that we did, and the chats we had in cafeteria, and the late night chats and the late night walks we did outside the campus, and the birthday parties. So there's a lot in college, and these memories, like you'll never forget them. You'll cherish them for life. So it's an important part of your life. So yeah, my journey was, it was. I never expected any of this. Like I still remember, like I think the first hype episode came when I was in my first year, Uthaan's hype episode. So I remember watching Ritik Verma sir's, episode, and I was wondering, like, will it ever be possible for me to be in his place, giving advice to students. So I never really expected any of this. So it's I'm really like happy that that things turned out to be this way.
I agree with him too. It is a roller coaster journey, not gonna lie, but the bittersweet memories made the happy memories more memorable. And I really enjoyed the first 3 years of my college life. And yeah, first year exactly, Tanya ma'am also sat in hype, and she also came in hype, and she was selected as a developer in Myntra. I never imagined that I will be in the same position after 4 years or 4 to 5 years. So it is good how everything turned out nice.
The insights shared were fascinating and enlightening, and we sincerely appreciate you both taking the time to respond. We wish you both a bright and successful future ahead. This brings us to the end of this episode. We hope that the visitors' experiences and anecdotes provided more insights to the audience. We'll be returning with a new episode soon, chock full of new insights, experiences, and placement stories. Thanks a lot, everyone.